You're driving late at night when the flashing red and blue lights hit your rearview mirror. You pull over, heart pounding, while you roll down your window, and the officer asks, "Have you been drinking?" Here's the catch. Even if you're sober, the police have 5 hidden tactics they can use to trap you into a DWI arrest. One wrong move and you could be in serious trouble. So stick around, because in this video, I'm revealing the shocking tricks police use during DWI stops that you need to know in order to protect yourself. Tactic number 1, the fake DWI checkpoint. Let's start with our first and maybe one of the most surprising tactics, the fake checkpoint. Now you might be thinking, a fake checkpoint? That doesn't even make sense. But trust me, it happens. Picture this. You're driving home and out of nowhere, there's a DWI checkpoint ahead. You pull up thinking it's routine, but what you don't know is that the police have been tailing you since you left that restaurant or bar. They've set up this checkpoint specifically for you. Does that sound a bit far-fetched? Trust me, it's not. Let me explain. Police might receive a tip that you've been drinking, or maybe they just see you leave a party or a bar. Instead of pulling you over right away, they set up a fake DWI checkpoint to stop you randomly. As a lawful citizen, you would feel obliged to cooperate with cops. And here's the scariest part. You could be completely sober, but one nervous answer or simple misstep, and suddenly you're facing a DWI charge.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, I'm Officer Smith, Bentonville Police Department.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Smith. Sorry, I was on the phone.
You're on the phone?
I'll be honest. You can talk to him if you want.
How much do you have to drink tonight?
Only one drink.
Just one drink?
Yep.
Here's a fun little twist. Not all states allow DWI checkpoints. In fact, 12 states have made them illegal thanks to the 4th Amendment, which protects citizens from unreasonable searches and seizures. That means in places like Alaska, Michigan, and South Carolina, those stops aren't allowed at all. But in the remaining 38 states, they're legal and used frequently. So what's the takeaway? If you see a DWI checkpoint, turn around if it's safe and legal to do so. But if you find yourself stuck in one, ask for the cop's identification and know your rights. A simple mistake during this checkpoint could lead to a night in jail, even if you haven't had a drop to drink. Tactic number 2, detecting intoxication through your words and behavior. So this is where things get a bit tricky, and it happens during almost every traffic stop. Police are trained to spot signs of intoxication in the way you talk and act. When you're pulled over, it might feel like they're just asking routine questions. Where are you coming from? Or have you had anything to drink tonight? And where are you going? But here's the thing, they're not just listening to your answers, they're watching every move you make. Their eyes are trained on your facial expressions and moves, trying to spot any sign of intoxication. But what things are they looking for specifically? The first thing is the smell of alcohol. They'll note whether there's a strong, moderate, or weak odor. If they smell anything remotely strong, that's enough to get the wheels of suspicion turning. They have enough probable cause against you to search your car or arrest you on the spot. Next, they're watching your physical behavior. Are you fumbling with your wallet, struggling to get your license out, giggling without any reason? Is your speech a little slurred, or are your eyes bloodshot from a long night? These are all things they'll write down and use against you later. And then comes the mental side of things. Are you acting nervous? Are you shivering? Are you confused and unable to follow simple instructions? Maybe you're anxious because, well, being pulled over is stressful. Dealing with the prying eyes of cops could make you sweaty. But guess what? They could see that as a sign of impairment. Let me show you an example.
Huntsville.
We're supposed to be professional.
Everybody, let's get it together. All right, stop laughing because you're making me laugh.
I'm not.
Seriously.
I'm giggling. You're smiling. I can't help it.
All right, stop.
I'm smiling.
No,
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
I get nervous. 5, 12, 25.
In this footage, you'll see how an officer interprets a driver's nervous laughter, confused responses, and fumbling movements as intoxication. Even if the driver had only been nervous, it was enough for the officer to make an arrest. So, what should you do? When you get pulled over, stay calm and attentive. Be polite, but don't volunteer unnecessary information. Cooperate, but don't get friendly. The less you say, the less they have to work with. And most importantly, remember your rights under the 4th and 5th Amendments. You don't have to answer every question. Tactic number 3, field sobriety test. This is the one that catches a lot of people off guard, the field sobriety test. Here's the thing, these tests are supposed to measure whether you're too impaired to drive. They might ask you to walk in a straight line, balance on one foot, or follow a moving object with your eyes. Sounds pretty easy, right? Well, think again. Here's what the police don't tell you. These tests are highly subjective, and even if you're completely sober, you could still fail. In fact, a lot of people fail these tests because they're nervous. For example, let's say the officer asks you to take 9 steps forward, turn, and take 9 steps back. If you're nervous and accidentally start walking too early or take a wobbly step, the officer might mark that down as a sign of intoxication. Well, suddenly, you're failing the test even though you haven't had anything to drink.
Whoa. Got you stopped your speed.
My bad, bro. I appreciate it. Cincinnati.
Okay. Anything to drink tonight?
Nope.
Mind if I check your eyes out?
Yes, sir.
All right, bring your head out here just a little bit.
Okay.
Follow, tip my finger with your eyes only. Don't move your
Yep.
head. Man, how much you had to drink?
Literally nothing. I took my friend home.
All right, I'm gonna get you out and make sure you're okay driving.
Okay.
Step on out.
Here, you'll see how the officer's instructions were unclear, and when the driver made a small mistake, the officer decided they were intoxicated. One simple misstep can be all it takes for you to get arrested.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
What makes this tactic even more unfair? Medical conditions. If you have some knee issues, back pain, or even just anxiety, these can affect how well you perform. And the worst part, if you fail the test, it's hard to convince a jury that you were sober because these tests are often given a lot of weight in court. Here, the cop's report would matter more than your words. So what's the best course of action? Politely decline the test and ask for a lawyer. In many states, you're not required by law to take a field sobriety test. So make sure you know the rules of your state. The less you participate, the fewer mistakes you can make, and the fewer opportunities they have to build a case against you. So, don't engage with the officers until your attorney appears. Tactic number 4, breath and blood test. If you thought the field sobriety test was bad, well, this is where things get even trickier. The breathalyzer and blood tests. Imagine this, the officer pulls out a handheld breathalyzer and asks you to blow into it. Now this test should be in zeros to avoid arrest.
All right, what I want you to do is make a tight seal around this and blow outwards like you're blowing up a balloon, okay? All right.
You ready?
Yep. Okay, you can relax.
Sounds straightforward, right? Well, not so fast. In some states, like Texas, breathalyzer results can't even be used in court. But if you refuse to take it, they can get a warrant to draw your blood, which could take almost 6 to 7 hours. Here's the catch. The timing of that blood test can be your saving grace. This is where it gets even crazier. Your blood alcohol content, or BAC, decreases over time. So if they draw your blood hours after the stop, your BAC might be lower than it was when you were actually driving, which can work in your favor. The longer they wait, the better your odds are. But what should you do if they demand a test? Well, here's the trick. Don't consent right away. If you refuse, they'll need a warrant, and this delay could be just what you need to protect yourself. Tactic number 5, use roadside back guessing game. We've saved the most shocking tactic for last. This is where police officers use something called the back guessing game, and it's nothing short of a trap. Here's how it works. Before they make you blow into the breathalyzer, the officer asks you to guess your back. Sounds innocent, right? Wrong. This is one of the trickiest traps they can set because whether you guess too high or too low, they'll use it against you. But if you thought that was sneaky, it actually gets even worse. Even if you're sober, guessing wrong could make it look like you're guilty. They'll use your uncertainty as evidence that you were impaired. It's a no-win situation. So what's the move here? Refuse to play their game. Politely tell the officer you're not going to guess and keep your answer short and neutral. This is one of the moments where saying less is saying more. Your Fifth Amendment right is your best defense here. At this point, you might be thinking, how can I possibly protect myself with all of these traps waiting for me? But here's the truth. You don't need to be paranoid. Just be prepared. Knowing their tactics can make all the difference. The next time you see those flashing lights, remember that staying calm, knowing your rights, and being smart about how you respond can help you avoid falling into these traps. Let's quickly review. Fake checkpoints can be set up just to target you. Know your state's laws and avoid them if possible. If you fail to avoid them, keep your answers short and simple. Officers will watch your behavior for signs of intoxication, so stay calm and avoid unnecessary actions. Don't let nervousness make you a prey to their trap. Field sobriety tests are not required and often lead to failure, even for sober people. So make sure you practice due diligence and you stay extra cautious. Breath and blood tests can work against you if done far too soon, so delay them to the maximum if absolutely possible. Remember, you can politely decline, and they'll have to get a warrant to draw your blood instead, which can be a complicated and time-consuming process depending on when you're pulled over. And remember that the back guessing game is a trap. Refuse to play it. Act upon your Fifth Amendment right and decline. If you want to see more videos about your rights, then be sure to watch this video now. And remember, in the end, do your part to stay safe and keep learning about your civil rights.